Yes, y'all. Welcome into day 2 of Pod-A-Mania, WrestleMania 4 Night 2 predictions, as well as recap everything that was Night 1. We have a fifth man who shall be nameless. We'll see if he joins the pod or not. Gentlemen, how we living, how we feeling after Night 1 of WrestleMania 42? What's the graps? What's the haps, fellas?
I don't know. After last night, I think it's a pretty successful weekend for WWE so far.
Oh, we know how we feel about it since we watch it together. Marz, how do you feel about it?
Oh man, it feels like I've been put through a Hell in a Cell match. What a interesting long night of confusion. So we're definitely going to dig into it.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. If you we're completely turned off by Night 1, Night 2 hopefully will be better. Yeah, right off the bat, DJ, absolutely. Night 2, right, should be better. Well, I mean, with that, let's just get the tinfoil hats out, because I've seen a lot of stuff today saying that WWE purposefully structured Night 1 to be the way that it was, so Night 2 could come off as an all-time WrestleMania card.
Okay.
Because they did the same thing last year.
Yeah, Night 1 was bad last year. Night 2 definitely, outside of the result from Cody Cena, definitely was the better of the two nights for sure. I'm not going to rate each night individually, as they said. Gotta get your shit in and plug everything.
Everything yesterday, so I have nothing left. The tank is empty, just like WWE's creativity.
That's a very good point.
I'm going to save my rating till tomorrow's day 3 of Pod-A-Mania wrap-up show. So I'm not going to give a rating to each individual night. I'm going to grade it as a whole. I'm not going to grade it on a curve, I can tell you that much. There will be no assisted grades here. We're going
Which way does the curve, the left or the right?
Hopefully it's straight down the middle, but depends on which side I sleep on. I think the best moment of the night last night, outside of Pat McAfee giving the thumbs up and middle finger on a stretcher, and him with the "Don't ring the bell" mic shot to Cody Rhodes, absolutely got a pop. My moment of the night last night was Bianca Belair announcing that she's pregos, and we have an addition to the attendance record last night, because not much else went off right for them to celebrate last night.
And shout out to the abs and being pregnant. It makes me want to take more Wegovy, because she's in phenomenal shape.
Right.
Hey, shout out to her with making the baby reveal gear, because Bianca stitched that whole thing together. I think Montez Ford, outside of Pat McAfee staying in the ref shirt and neck brace all night, wherever he was, whether it was the 50 Cent concert, wherever else he ventured to last night, Angelo Dawkins, he's been tweeting out weak pullout gang and the Skeet Profits all night long for him and Montez. So the Skeet Profits is crazy. I don't know if WWE will approve that merchandise.
I don't see that.
But man, oh man,
maybe you can sell that bootleg merch on the side with it.
Congrats to Bianca. And Montez. Hopefully Bianca, after this, we've missed her for a year with the finger injury that I don't think anybody would have thought would have been a year after she broke it at WrestleMania last year. She had just had the second surgery in, I believe, December. Videos came out of her doing the rehab, and it looked like she was actually getting some motion and some movement back. And then now, we get the baby bump reveal. a la Rihanna at the Super Bowl, and we got to wait another probably year plus for Bianca to come back. So kudos to her, Martez. Hopefully, everything goes well, and we get an eventual return from the EST that is Bianca Belair.
Hopefully, whatever extra time she's needed to rehab and take care of that injury, that this it's kind of another blessing that it gives her that extra time to take care of that at the same time.
Yeah. So, all right, let's start off with the highs and lows that was night one in your estimation. What stood out to you guys from a high aspect? What was your ultimate low of the night? And then we can get into kind of breaking down things that were in that regards.
Before we get into that, one of our friends sent over kind of like his take on it. So it was like one of the casual fans' opinions on the night, and I kind of thought it was interesting because I knew what our take was for people that are into it all the time. Yeah. So his thinking was that he gave a rating for just last night of a B. He said they were entertained, some surprises, nothing that made us angry. It felt very safe. Even the stage setup was kind of generic. Let's not take too many chances. The whole night felt like part one of a part two movie, like we're at halftime. Not two separate events, so I'm not too mad about it. The crowd was into everything for the most part, which I think makes the whole event seem more enjoyable. Most of the big spots were executed well. I like the shortness of the matches, kept things rolling. Didn't feel like there was too much filler. The main event started with so much energy, it was hard to maintain that throughout the match. That was the only match I felt like was slow.
Interesting.
So different take than kind of like how we felt about it all night long.
Yeah, and I know, like in the moment with us sitting there going back and forth about everything, as I was rethinking about last night throughout the day today, if people wouldn't have pointed out the match times and we weren't looking at that throughout the show, I don't necessarily think I would have assumed that the matches were as short as they were.
The first match and the women's world title, those were the ones that I was like, really, that's it? Their endings definitely shocked me for how quick they were. But the other ones I might give you.
I think that may have been more of just how the finish happened, not necessarily from bell to bell. It felt like a short match, and I would have to go back and rewatch it just to confirm that. But, and listen, that casual fan take is a lot of what I saw from people that were there live. Felt they got their money's worth last night and felt it was an enjoyable show. The energy was up. They really didn't have any complaints that I saw from people that were there live. It was more everybody watching on Netflix, ESPN, VPN, Fubo, whatever, dealing with where you had to sit through all those ads. And I
do feel like we even say that when we go to shows live. Like Steve, take the night that me and you went to, was it the Dynamite 5-year anniversary? And people were shitting on that from watching on TV, but you even called in to Bust It Open. It was just nah, the crowd's loud here. I think sometimes being there live is a completely different take than watching it on TV.
Yeah. So I don't know what they did during the ad breaks in the arena that could have changed up the feel or the vibes of what went on, because if you're in the arena and you're getting the ads playing and that's all they're doing, then I could see more gripes coming out. But we'll see when we go around the horn with that casual fan take. Keep in mind and what people actually thought. So give me a high and a low from each of you around the horn here as far as night one is concerned.
Well, I'll start. For me, my high was definitely seeing Braun Breaker sprint down the ring at 70 miles per hour, hoping didn't rip his groin or whatever he had injured before. Very, very good match. Predictable, but a very good match. That was my match of the night as well. But just seeing Braun Breaker return, I forgot how much I missed his intensity. seeing him with Paul Heyman, it gives me some hope that we can get some actual payoff for the Vision story that would have been at WrestleMania if they weren't cursed by doing that fake Seth Rollins injury. They definitely got a Danhausen curse on that faction. So that was my highlight, along with, like you said, wondering where Bianca Belair was. I kind of had a I know her finger injury, but I'm like, yeah, I know she's up there, and it's a shame. It sounds very misogynistic talking about age on a woman, but I know she wanted to start a family. It seems like these tag teams are just breaking up these historical women runs. Naomi and now Bianca Belair has been hit by the Skeet Masters. But yeah, that for me, that was my highlight, just seeing Braun back and getting this storyline, and Seth's new interest, the dark Seth with the black eyes. That was pretty cool too. So that was my highlight of the night for sure.
Donald, your highlight?
Wasn't much, but my highlight are the entrances, because I always like WrestleMania and just see like the wrestlers' gear and stuff. See if they have any new music and all that. Like, I really enjoyed Becky's entrance with the
even though they were lip singing. They didn't give them live mics.
Even though, but yeah, like that. I'll just say the entrances and Roxanne also too. You guys know from yesterday. Whenever she came out, with a hello.
Chris, your highlight?
Entertainment wise, I'm giving it to Pat. Like what you already brought up, Steve. The mic punch and going up the ramp. I mean, that was the most entertaining. Best match for me, I think it would be Gunther and Seth. I do think that the cards did do a slow build, like for them overall. Like, I don't know if necessarily with the main event, but it did kind of feel like each match was slowly getting better than the one before it. But probably the peak for me would be Gunther and Seth.
Yeah, Gunther and Seth was strong. We called it on the predictions yesterday. Who would you have lose? Well, we said, hey, Braun Breaker is going to return and cost Seth, and that way you get out of it because, this is what we do on the show. We give you guys actual factual information when it comes to booking and what plays out on screen. So, I mean, our hit rate last night was very successful as far as Braun Breaker calling Nikki not being able to go and Paige coming back and her getting the spot and them winning the belts. That was on the show. I love Nia and Lash paying homage and tribute to Demolition with the white gear. I thought that was fantastic. Liv and Stephanie was intense, as I thought it should be given the build to it. I would have liked to have seen them go a little longer than the 7 minutes that they got, just because I felt they deserved that. For me, my match, which, saw some give and take on a bit, I thoroughly enjoyed Drew and Jacob for what it was, the quote-unquote unsanctioned. Was it really unsanctioned? It's not AEW unsanctioned where you're getting syringe needles and everything else, right? So WWE unsanctioned is going to be a little bit different. But they still brought the intensity. They had all the weapons. Some of those spots, like when Drew pushed Jacob off the turnbuckle, I had no idea that table was even set up out there. So I was like, holy shit. The headshot and then the moonsault through the table to cap it off. Thought it was a huge night for Jacob. He was very emotional afterwards, and rightfully so there. Becky winning the belt, and AJ giving a little goodbye. So that was put out there on social media afterwards where she said, I didn't get to say goodbye in 2015, and this isn't a true goodbye, but it's I'll see you later. So don't know how much impact AJ is going to have going forward as far as a run or return goes.
When that Saudi money hits.
But I thought overall, the main event, Cody, Randy, I thought they booked it smartly to get Pat and Jelly Roll out of the way. But the ending was very confusing to have Pat come in and almost slow count the 3 and then Randy RKO him for Randy to take out Cody and stand tall. Where all that goes from here. So we'll see what happens there as far as Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. And I guess the tag team match that was allegedly to be is not going to happen now. So we'll get a run back, maybe a backlash.
That's perfectly
fine. Cody
fine.
and Orton.
Makes more sense.
So maybe this is like you inserted Pat, it didn't work. We're booking Cody to go over now, and we can actually do the feud we want. I don't know if that's what's happening. We can see, but Orton appeared to be banged up. Cody definitely worked heel during the match, and who knows how long Cody. Hopefully, it's not like a fractured orbital bone or anything like that. It's just a swollen eye for swollen eye's sake, and
you got to
he's
throw
not out too
the mask
long.
Again.
Yeah, but
that was peak.
A lot more lows than I would say highs.
Yes, definitely agree with you on that.
I did love the Jacob. I agree with you. The Jacob and Drew McIntyre match and the callback to the toolbox and how he was traumatized by the toolbox. I think that was a excellent callback, and the right person won. And I think in every single match, the right person won. So I'll give him that. But still, overall, it was a yawn fest.
Yeah, 4 hours of not a lot.
It definitely, and we said this throughout the night last night, and this is the infiltration of TKO overall with the UFC format of WWE presentation, and it's not a good thing in that regards. But it did not feel like Mania being WrestleMania in that regard. It's like I don't know if it was the stage. I don't know if it was starting out on ESPN and then having to transfer over, and there were issues where we were on the ESPN Unlimited app, but kept getting kicked off to where we actually went to ESPN2 to watch the first hour and then went back into there was just a lot going on last night, and I feel
froze up. For the ESPN app, that was definitely a negative. Marz, is that how you watched it?
I watched it on the ESPN Unlimited app through my Disney Plus.
Okay.
And it literally the whole night was just skipping the whole night. It felt like it was a lag, a 7-second delay or something like that, which also I miss Peacock so bad.
Who thought anyone would say that?
Right. It's literally, which reminds me I need to cancel Peacock. But yeah, it very few of those pay-per-views come through without a flaw on the ESPN Unlimited app. I don't know if they need to, live event, whatever they call them now. The app sucks. The app sucks. It just sucks. I tried to sugarcoat it, but I can't. It sucks. So it made viewing on top of these erratic matches and short matches, the skipping and the delays, it made it really rough.
We didn't notice too many delays. I think during the event, there might have been a couple times, but the biggest was when the pre-show was over and switching to the actual start. It kept trying to throw us to a 30-30, and it's so that's when we end up moving over, and it's like we just stayed on ESPN2 for it, and it's like if you're in the ESPN app, you shouldn't have to go to the ESPN2 channel. You should just be able to be in the ESPN app for it. And even I tried to use the ESPN2 in the app, to watch that channel in the app, and it didn't even allow that.
Yeah.
So it's just little glitches like that, or just they need to get that figured out.
Jason, welcome to night 2 of WrestleMania predictions, and that you run through just give us your highs and lows from last night as far as what you watched and were either entertained by or disappointed by.
My low is the whole thing. That's why I was late being on because I didn't even WrestleMania night 2. What is it? What time? When? I didn't even think it was night 2. That's how much I disassociated, and I was in bed.
Damn, and that's Mr. WWE down there.
Yeah. Highs. I'll give the opening match. The whole first hour, I enjoyed the opening match. Drew and Jacob. If you'd have gave Liv and Stephanie more time, I think it could have been a better match. Gunther and Seth was definitely a plus. And I didn't hate the main event. It just was too long and too slow for me.
They gave you the quintessential pro wrestling match in the main event.
It felt like they played everything safe.
That was, and before you got on, Chris read a casual fan's take on last night, and the word "safe" came up there again. Okay. It was not the hey, it's WrestleMania. Let's do it and
leave it all in the ring.
Yeah. So, I enjoyed the main event. It's different than today's pace of matches as far as what they put on bell to bell in the ring. But they definitely worked. They definitely worked hard, and outside of some confusing, what does this mean? I enjoyed the wrestling I saw between those two last night, but it didn't have the emotional investment that a main event should have at WrestleMania. And that's based off of the booking the last 3 weeks leading up to the main event. So I'm on the other side of that fence with tonight's main event, given what's been said between these two. And Roman has continued to steamroll Punk with comments after comments after comments. And he even today was out there blitzing him again with more comments. So his last tweet said, "Enough of the talk, it's time to fight." So I highly expect a different energy and vibe in the main event tonight versus the last night in that regards there. All right, we're 25 minutes in. Anybody want to say anything else as far as recapping night 1?
Which didn't happen.
No, but I was watching anime while everything was going on. That's how I feel about it.
I mean, we don't put any stock into that they like personally sabotage night 1 to make night 2 stand out.
That's malarkey. Full malarkey.
Let me just double check and make sure I don't have any other things that I bookmarked based off of responses for night 1 to get into here.
Before we go into it, I want to give a shout out to 2 crews because I saw this today. Tonight, Vegas Knights and Utah are playing at the T-Mobile Center in Vegas, and then tomorrow night Raw is there. So shout out to the T-Mobile crew and the WWE crew that are going to have to put that arena together for tomorrow night's Raw.
Do we want to comment on all about this Andrews Hell situation, or do we want to save that for tomorrow and with the recap for the weekend that was?
Save it for the recap.
This is very interesting. That
has he come out to say anything?
Yeah, he's outside of his initial post saying that he will not be covering WrestleMania based off of their revoking or refusing to give him credentials. I have not seen anything else from him in that regards there.
Well, you have to revoke more people this time because.
And then just
sounds like he'll be starting his own thing soon.
To put a wrap up and a bow on it, Donald, I know you went back in and did the math, but I saw all in all total wrestling time from night 1. An hour and 26 minutes and across 7 matches, and ad time approximately an hour and 14 minutes.
Yep. I was off by like 1 minute, a couple seconds, on each thing, going back to through everything. But yeah, that's what it was. And they said that Hogan was the most famous person on night 1 because they were showing the Hogan talk so much.
Yeah, apparently, if you had Netflix and you were watching on Netflix, you got almost the entirety of the 4-part episeries that will be the Hogan documentary.
So is that like in place of ads? Then they were in the Hogan.
They were
Yeah,
rolling
the
4 minutes
the
4
Hogan doc.
clips at a time. They were rolling out there.
There's that hot sauce.
Yeah, I will say in the timing issue between the ads and the matches, I really didn't notice it until the main event. Between Stephanie and Liv and Cody and Randy starting, we were at damn near 45 minutes.
Yeah.
In between. And that right there is unacceptable. You can't have almost an hour go by without matches happening.
Now, are they still dressing the ring every match?
Probably.
I don't think they're
okay.
It don't take that long to change an apron.
Yeah.
I mean,
especially with the LED board and all that stuff now that just flips over a sponsor.
Always a mark down there.
And I will give kudos and shout out to Asho Speed. They didn't ask him to do too much. I thought what he did looked good. He's a babyface again after he was forced into the match as a heel. He didn't want to get involved anyways. The splash off the top rope. When you looked at a couple angles from in the crowd live, I know Tyrese Halliburton had an angle sitting there behind commentary. Speed got up there, and the fact that Logan Paul took that and trusted him enough, I'll give Logan Paul kudos as well, because that's not something that's feels good when you have somebody come down from 20, 25 feet through your chest.
We'll see if that was the payoff, that spot, or because it felt like to me like we're gonna get another match somehow out of that. But maybe that spot was the payoff. I don't know. We'll see.
All right, that's night 1 recap. Let's get into these night 2 predictions here. First hour again is live on ESPN 2.
ESPN tonight.
Oh, ESPN. Sorry, ESPN tonight. Night 1 or night 2, hour 1 on ESPN, and then the remainder through the ESPN app here in the States or Netflix abroad. Those of you that need a VPN, head on over to dumbmarkspod.com. Get the Surfshark VPN link, download that, and you'll be able to watch it all on Netflix in that regards, and won't have to jump back and forth between ESPN channels and apps, etc. So let's get into it. Match 1 kicking off. Match of the night.
Brock.
The match of the weekend. As Paul Heyman said, the main event. It's my number 1 most invested match of the weekend itself. We'll go around the horn here, give our predictions. Marz, why don't you kick us off with Oba Brock, night 2, match 1.
This can only end one way, with the passing of the torch. I don't want to see any shenanigans. I don't want to see any squash match. I want to see a hard-hitting, brutal match. I doubt we get that, but that's what I want to see. But ultimately, we got to shoot Oba to the moon. And he has to win this match, which means he'll probably lose. But my prediction is Oba wins this convincingly, and that starts the whole self-doubt. Brock, old guys. Brock, starting his retirement path. But Oba, he has to take the torch. So I'm going Oba with the W.
I will save that retirement path comment because I just had something pop into my head here, and I'll throw it out to you guys after we get done rolling through the predictions here. Donald, who you got, Oba Brock?
Oba got the best of Brock the last 3 weeks, and in the typical WWE booking, Brock is winning. Sorry, with Bruce Pritchard and Michael Hayes still behind the scenes, I am not giving it that pass. Brock Lesnar for the win.
Jason.
I'm going Brock. I just don't see it happening. Oba is the guy, but he, like Dawn said, you got the best in 3 weeks in a row. Yeah, Brock. But you do got to play that Titans intro, Battle of the Titans intro for the match.
Like they ran through the Cody Orton video package.
Yeah, that's the only thing that this night needs for build up this match.
Yes.
Chris?
Oba should win. 100% Oba should win. I'm with you guys though. I just feel like it's WWE and Brock Lesnar. I just feel like Brock's gonna get it. But like Mars, when you brought up the retirement, it makes me wonder, like, does Oba lose here? And he's the one that retires Brock, then he gets that win later at another date.
He should be the one.
I'm standing in solidarity with my brother down there, Mars. Oba Femi, hands down, to the moon and back, needs to win this match. I don't know how you can be Triple H and be out there and feel that energy, the vibe, the audience, the delivering performance that Oba has had. He has not looked out of place in one single moment in this entire build with Brock. And we all know Brock Lesnar does what Brock Lesnar does when Brock Lesnar likes you. And what Brock Lesnar has done with Oba Femi is the same thing we saw Brock Lesnar do with Drew McIntyre. Same thing we saw Brock Lesnar do with Keith Lee. Keith Lee. Same thing we saw Brock Lesnar do with Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, John Cena. When Brock isn't invested and likes you, Brock will go out of his way to make you look like $1 million trillion. And Oba has looked like a trillionaire this entire time. So
German Suplex City, you got to give me a legit battle.
That's all you're getting out of Brock.
Now we have, I think the last 4 or 5 Mania matches for Brock on average have gone about 6 minutes.
That's what I was expecting, and based off of last night.
So those of you clock watchers, not clock blockers, but clock watchers, time that out for the night.
Now, should Oba win? 100%. And you're kicking this off for Mania night 2? Get the crowd hot. Oba wins.
How much weight is on this match in this WrestleMania if Oba is your future?
Everything.
A false start here sets everything that they've done in NXT, everything they've done since its debut. It throws it down the trash. You have to get this right. And I agree with you guys, watching wrestling for the last 35 years. On paper, if you get the best of them every time, you're going to lose. If Paul Heyman says it's a spoiler, you're going to lose. And I think that's why Oba wins, because look, we got all these guys on the panel who know the game, and we're already conditioned that Brock's going to win, and that's going to be the twist with Oba overcoming the beast.
I definitely want to see Oba win, because I want to see young talent get pushed to the moon. You guys know me; I'm for the young talent.
Yeah,
it's just hard to believe. It's just hard to believe with those 2 guys in the back.
Yeah.
Now. Before we move on to the ladder match, because there was an interesting development, and I wasn't able to confirm it or not, so I'm going to treat it as just that whenever we get into the ladder match. But the retirement aspect of this, with Brock retired, a lot of people have said the retirement will happen at SummerSlam in Minneapolis. But with Saudi having WrestleMania next year, we know Saudi wants old talent, and Saudi likes their legends. Does Brock actually retire at SummerSlam in Minneapolis, going out in his hometown? Or does he wrestle SummerSlam and retire at Mania next year in Saudi?
You're getting twice in a lifetime. That 1 year bill till tomorrow.
Okay.
Hey, I mean, technically Brock's in Canada now, so maybe he wants to retire in Canada.
He retires at SummerSlam and then just come back, because nobody's officially retired.
Yeah.
Look at Shawn, look at Stone Cold. So
I can see that if the chat's big enough, they do the retirement angle, and then someone calls him out, and then he comes back and ends his career with a victory at Mania. And that could be Gunther, like, you quit already, or I would have retired you, something like that. And then he comes out and says, what did you say? That's always a possibility.
For sure.
I think, if you're looking, like Squeeze said, this is pure big meaty men slapping meat. To have them go 5 to 7 minutes is fine because you have the ladder match. And that's going to take up majority of the hour, you would think.
6 entrances.
So, yeah.
Better get that already in the ring.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and that's the favor that Gunther's going to cash in with Paul Heyman. He wants the Beast at SummerSlam. I fully expect that match to happen and be the angle they go into as they tell that story throughout the summer here. All right, let's get into the ladder match. Now, I will say I saw this, and I did not have a chance to go out and confirm it. So take it for what you will. However, I did see, and this may be completely rumor and innuendo, so don't take this as gospel. But I did see that Leon Slater was added to this ladder match tonight.
I haven't seen anything on that.
Me either.
So I don't know. I'm just going to throw it out there as a rumor. I'm not reporting it as fact because I wasn't able to confirm it by at least one or two other sources. So if we get Leon in this match, great, because we did say that, the Kingo had potentially, to be added based off of him and Penta's match. They didn't go that route, so we'll see.
I'd be okay with that. You made an 8-pack ladder match? Cool.
So with that being out there, don't know if that'll change your prediction as far as who wins or not, but let's get into this. Let's go around the horn. 6-pack ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. Penta as the champion. You see the list of participants down below. They gave us a nice little tease on this with Rusev running through everybody on Monday night, which added, the big man in the match, a la Kane, in as far as dishing out destruction with all the other guys do the flippy floppy stuff on the ladders. Who you got here, Marz? 6-pack ladder match.
So I went back and forth between Penta and Javon Evans. I feel it's a little too early for Javon, and I'm really enjoying Penta's run. So with that being said, I'm saying Penta retains in a fantastic match. Probably will steal the show. I wouldn't even say probably. I would say confidently it's probably going to steal the show from a wrestling aspect. Some crazy spots. But when you look at this list of men, who needs it the most? I say Penta retains.
Donald.
Penta retains. I don't see anybody else really holding the title. Mysterio's on his last leg. Rusev just ran through everybody, and you know how that goes. McDonough still got stuff to do with the Judgment Day. Dragon Lee will always be Dragon Lee, and it's too early for Javon.
Jason?
I agree with everything Marz said. I was jockeying between Penta and Javon. Like, it was like, if you want to push the future, this is the time to do it. But I'm enjoying Penta's reign, so I'm going with Penta. My sleeper is JD. I think he needs a solo run somewhere, man. He's been delivering.
Agreed.
Chris?
DJ, I'm with you. I'm hoping that because of Oba and Brock hopefully being the shorter match, that this does get the time that it needs. I'm with you guys. I think Penta is going to retain. The only one that I was kind of thinking too was JD. With Judgment Day, with that storyline, like with Finn breaking off and everything, it makes me think maybe JD could get his moment to shine finally in that group, or maybe even split off. But I'm going to give it to Penta, and I think this definitely has potential to be match of the night.
Penta for me is dollar signs and dollar signs and dollar signs and dollar signs. I've been on Penta's train since Lucha Underground. He was my number one guy there. And it's funny when you look at him versus Phoenix, the difference. Phoenix will capture you with the oohs and ahs as far as what he does in the ring. And Penta is more of the character, personality, so it's a juxtaposition. I do need them as the Lucha Bros at some point in time in WWE, but nowhere near now, right? Penta Penta, for me, given everything he does and the way he bashes Dominic Mysterio on every single interview, where he says he's a fake Mexican, he's a fake wrestler, he's a fake son, he's fake this, fake that. I need that feud to be a summertime bitter rivalry feud, and we'll see if they go back to that well with the Finn Dom match later on tonight. I got Penta retaining. This could be the night of NXT crownage with Oba, Javon, and Trick. And the way Hunter and Sean talked about them in that sit down that they did for Variety, they are super high on all three of those guys. It would not shock me if they do crown all three guys and all three guys go over. But Penta is a guy to build on and really enhance that IC title and elevate it even more, because Dom did a good job with it. But Penta, to me, is a guy you can have a nice long run with. And there's plenty of guys to match up with him on the roster itself. So give me Penta to retain there.
All right, let's move on to Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio.
Again,
match of the night.
Marz.
I love Dominic Mysterio, man. He's not technically as good as Eddie, but I just love Dominic, man. I think that's the closest that these kids are going to get to a modern Eddie Guerrero. However, it's the Demon. Last time, the Demon should never lose. I feel that's a character that Finn can be beaten. The Demon shouldn't be beaten. I feel they made the wrong call with Edge and the Demon. So it's time for Dom to get his comeuppance, and he's another wrestler that can lose 20 matches and then be the world champion tomorrow through shenanigans, and you would be like, okay, that's fine. So I'm going to say the Demon wins this. Did a feel-good moment. I wish they would have made it for the AAA title. That would have been cool. But I say the Demon wins this one.
Donald?
You guys know how I feel about Dominic Mysterio, but the Demon's going to win. And I'm only saying the Demon's going to win because Dominic Mysterio this year got bigger fish to fry.
Jason?
Give me Finn. Finn needs a win.
Chris?
I'm going with you guys. I don't see you bringing the Demon back and having him lose on this. Dom had his moment last year, right? Or was it last year? Yeah. So yeah, I think Demon for this year.
I think the entrance by the Demon would have drove the roof off that building if they didn't announce it prior to.
100%.
Very true. Very, very true.
And Finn himself said on, Cody Rhodes' podcast, I don't like the Demon being announced. And he also spoke on the Demon itself to your point, Marz, where the Demon's not a separate entity. It's not a separate character. It's the Braveheart moment of putting on the war paint and going to a different place to do what you need to do. Whatever your Dragon Ball Z, Kamehameha, whatever you want to call it, right? It's that added edge that you need given the battle cry that it's called for. I just don't see Finn losing given those circumstances, unless there's chicanery and Judgment Day gets involved with Liv and Raquel and all that. I think JD will be out of the equation based off of the ladder match because he's going to be the MVP that takes the holy shit bump of the night in that ladder match, to where it's like, okay, my anxiety is at 10,000 degrees right now. I can't get it back down based on that spot. So I got Finn here, and we'll see where they go. Finn, to me, definitely needs a stronger run in that regards. Hey, Taekwon, suck it.
Hey, look, I almost corrected him as saying it. I hate myself.
Blur down there.
All right, let's move on to the U.S. Championship. Sammy versus Trick. I think we all know this one, but
oh yeah.
Okay. Morris.
This is the double turn that we've been waiting for. This is Bret Hart versus Stone Cold double turn all over again. Trick, he has to win. He made the best diss freestyle I've heard since Kendrick and Drake. Used to work on the lip syncing a little bit, but because it gave Chinese Kung Fu. But yeah, Trick, Yachty. I'm loving them. I'm loving Trick, and come to think, I did, when Trick first started, Carmelo wasn't a big fan, but I love him. I love everything about the presentation. He is Booker T, The Rock, and somebody else mixed in a bowl. Charisma out the yin yang. Another person you should be strapping the Rock to. And I like kind of swarmy heel Sami Zayn. So I think it's going to be a great match. Also potential to steal the match, but I'm saying Trick wins this in a double turn.
Donald.
Yeah, I have Trick winning this, and it will be a shame if Booker's not doing the commentary for this.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, we didn't get any extras last night. I was surprised on that.
I just need it for the intro, then Book can leave after that because I can't take him after that. I can't do it.
Jason.
Part of me wants Sammy to win just because you're still getting that groundswell for Melo.
That's a surprising.
Yeah, I'm going with Trick though.
Yeah, Trick for me, easy.
That's worse than if Cena wins, we riot. If Sammy wins, DJ's on an 8-month hiatus.
If you do it, I'll see you there, DJ.
All the points were valid as far as, you know, who, why, how, etc. You know, Triple H was sitting down with Shaw, was talking about Trick, and he's like, you know, the cool stuff that he says, I don't know that it's cool. I don't know what the hell a lemon pepper stepper is, but I feel it. I believe it. I know the audience connects with it. And if he runs out of cool shit to say, he ain't going to get nothing from me. So we had this discussion way back when the Melo Trick debate, right? Mm-hmm. And we said the only thing that Melo was missing was height. And we said that Trick has everything that you ask for and create a pro wrestler. Height, weight, speed, charisma, off the yin yang. I need the full-blown Bobby Roode glorious entrance tonight, not the little two-tone turntable that Ric Flair was at the pool party doing DJing to. Nah, I need the full-blown, grandiose, halfway up the Titantron glorious entrance of Trick Williams in all white. And listening to Trick, first off, the fact that he does as much media as he does shows you the exact way they feel about him.
He owns that much all white.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him on the Pivot podcast, talking, you know, with Ryan Clark and them and breaking down his journey and path and everything else, you know, it just made me like him that much more. So while I agree the double turn, it may happen, my only issue with that is, right, the money is Trick and Melo. The history is Trick and Melo. The story is Trick and Melo. But it's babyface versus babyface. And those tend to not work. So while Trick may yet turn because people are booing Sammy, I don't expect Trick to be full-blown babyface.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he doesn't need to be. I mean, when you think about it, The Rock never was really a true-blown babyface. He'll talk about your mama in a heartbeat. Those aren't babyface tactics. So keep the personality similar to what they did to Roman. Keep the personality the same and just aim that disrespect at a heel.
Yeah, DJ, we did notice Melo in the Wheatley commercial as the one thing that's not like the others. So yeah, don't know how he got that spot, but
it's so good he drank it neatly. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. Yeah, Trick will toe the line. But this to me, when that 3 count hits tonight, I think this is going to be the biggest pop of the night for somebody winning is Trick. So I agree with you, Jason. The way Sammy wrestles, this has potential to be match of the night, because Sammy really rarely has a bad match. And Trick is going to have to elevate his game because Sammy's going to bring it. So I'm interested to see Trick, take it to another level because outside of Mello, I don't think Trick has really truly been inside the ring with somebody that can go like Sammy can go. So
I feel like Trick is like a mirror. Like he works well with whoever he's in the ring with. So when he's in there with Ilya, it's a banger. When you're with somebody of a lesser talent, it's mirror man.
Let's say you just say the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right, next up.
All right, let's head into the WWE Women's Championship. Jade versus Rhea.
Talk about
the muscle mommy match.
Talk about a fart in church. I've never been less interested in a Rhea Ripley match in my life than this one. But we'll go around the horn. So, Mars, who you got?
Whole feud has been what a mess. I think it somehow brought both of their stock down, which is
tremendously
crazy because Rhea was the hottest thing, running for 2 or 3 years, and obviously just Jade's look alone is everything WWE wants. But at the end of the day, Rhea wins. Rhea wins. I hope this is a quick match, and it's hard for me to even speak about it because I'm so uninterested with the build. So I'm going to put my money on Rhea. Three.
Very true. I'm going with Jade in this one. I'm going with Jade, not just because she's deserving or anything, and the match is just bad, but I just think that keep it on Jade. See what she does.
Hey, Taquan.
Rhea doesn't need the belt every single time she fights.
Jay?
Give me Jade. I'm actually enjoying B-Fab and Michin out of this whole thing more than anything. But give me Jade. I think Rhea needs some time off and adjust to what she's going through right now, because you can see it in her matches that she's not herself. So take some time off, get your reps in, come back, run it back at SummerSlam or something. But I'm going with Jade.
I mean, everything you guys are saying, I can understand either side for it, but I'm going with Rhea. I think that's where they'll go with it. It's Mania and it's Rhea. But DJ, great 6 minutes. 6 minutes.
Jason, to your point, Rhea herself has even said, it's about time I get off social media, I deactivate a bunch of stuff, and the body comments, just everything. I think for somebody who we know from Unreal has that anxiety and those issues, issues not the right word because I myself deal with that stuff. So the time away could help her in this instance. I definitely don't like. Not only has the build been just trash and nothing's clicked after the initial Twitter space onslaught that happened where everybody was burying Jade. I don't like how they've made Io Sky the fodder and the one that needs Rhea Ripley because Rhea has to come out and save Io, and it's like Io's top 2 or 3 women's wrestler on the planet.
Yes,
she doesn't need Rhea to come out and be that saving grace every single time. Almost makes me want to see an Io and Rhea feud out of it, to where Io stands up to Rhea. But again, I don't know if that's the right direction. I think initially the plans were here for Rhea to lose and put Jade over and give Jade like a solidifying match and win because of what Rhea can deliver in the ring. I just don't see them two having the chemistry to pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
So this being a good match will be a shocker to me. And, I don't want to say bad match because of what each woman can do in the ring. It's just some pairings just don't have it, and it just doesn't work. And this has not been a fit. This is the square peg in a round hole since day one. So whoever they choose, by all means, fine. Let's just wipe the slate clean and have each lady move on to something else.
Yeah. All right. That leaves us with the main event. World Heavyweight Championship, Punk versus Roman.
This one I actually had to think about a little bit because Roman is a part-timer. That belt tends to be the workhorse belt. However, how could you put more shine on that belt than give it to Roman Reigns and put more relevancy? So, with that being said, Roman all the way. I think it's going to be a good match, another potential barn burner. I also feel there could be some shenanigans. He mentioned you're going to have 50 Samoans, and we haven't seen that yet. So, maybe some debuts, maybe some shenanigans. I don't know, but I think Roman wins this at the end of the day, and it should be actually a pretty good match. Definitely better than Cody and Randy.
Donald?
I have Roman winning. I have Roman taking the belt all the way to SummerSlam and losing to Oba. So I gave you my half a year book.
You won't see
that title. Right there.
He's on ball too. Give me Roman. I just want to see this iteration of Roman with the belt. That's all. Him without the blood.
Chris?
So I think I saw something that Roman said in an interview that, if he loses to Punk, should he really still be here? So, truthfully, I don't care about this match. I really don't. This does nothing for me, but I'm not going to pick Punk, so Roman for the win.
Chris has been a Roman hater since COVID. Nothing Roman has done is good in Chris's eyes.
He's been watching pure cinema for how long?
And every single time he would get on here, I hated the Roman match.
The
Talking too much during the match. Bloodline storyline sucks. It's just, it's Dave Chappelle hater
Consistent.
ball level hate. Yeah. For to Marz's work rate comment with the belt, Roman pointed that out this week. You call yourself the work rate champion. You've defended the title 3 times since you had it. That's not work rate. You call me a part-timer, you on a part-time defending schedule. You're not out there every week putting the belt on the line. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing for all the talk that you talk.
Like he was.
Yeah. I feel Roman's the right call here. You've lost something. You lost something here. While Punk's title win has been whatever, to me, Donald's the king of saying resume check. I don't see any difference of Punk having a title versus not having a title. So get the belt off him. He's not elevating it.
Exactly. This should be his retirement match too.
Yeah. Now, if you pull the Roman and then have him drop the Oba at SummerSlam, for all the Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle winning the belt within your first year, I think Oba would be the quickest main roster to champion as far as length of time. That would be 8 months on the main roster to winning it in SummerSlam. And I don't think there's been another guy that has pulled off that feat within an 8-month period of being on the main roster. So, look, Roman's must see. He's box office. He's a draw. He's the OTC for a reason. His vibe is different right now, and I want to see what that reign looks like because the vibe is different. So give me Roman to recapture the title. All right, there you have night 2 predictions of WrestleMania. Any last minute comments around the horn? Oh, match of the night. Who you got match of the night? Let's go around the horn. Match of the night. What you got?
I feel like it's going to be the ladder match. It's just too much talent in there, and if given the amount of time, how could it not be from a ring perspective match of the night? I mean, you got the bouncy one, you got Rusev Day, you got. I feel that just has the potential to be the match of the night.
I'm going with Oba and Brock. It's like two tanks colliding with each other. That's the one everybody wanted to see. That is the main event. That's match of the night.
So we even got to tune in to ESPN Unlimited.
No, you don't. You just watch that match and turn
First
everything
hour.
off.
Yep.
Yeah. I got the ladder match.
Chris?
I said it earlier. Ladder match.
Oh, you guys are
right. We are right.
Yeah, I mean, those two are obvious. You know, you can put some stuff down in 4 minutes and walk away like a champion.
4 minutes can change your life.
That's how it's like.
Give me, just because I need a main event to deliver, give me Roman and Punk. I'm not going to say that with my chest, but for something different, give me Roman and Punk. So, all right. Any other last minute comments here before we wrap up and get on our road to night 2 WrestleMania?
Let's hope it's a better night.
They better bring it from last night. They better.
It has to be.
No matter. I'll be turning it off at 9 o'clock anyway. So.
All right. Well, there you have it. Night 2 WrestleMania predictions, night 1 recap. Join us live tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time as we recap night 2, give our grades for WrestleMania as a whole, and look forward to what is arguably the most anticipated night of the year with the Raw after Mania. We'll see if they deliver in that regards, because the past couple night after Manias have been a little lackluster. So hopefully the gravy train picks up and we get some excitement and we acknowledge that WrestleMania delivered. But I don't have my high hopes after night 1. So with that being said, as always, follow us on all social media platforms at Dumb Marks Pod. Head on over there, give us your night 2 predictions. Email the show, dumbmarkspod@gmail.com. Give you a live shout out on air. We'll take the constructive criticism as it comes. Head on over to the email or the website, dumbmarkspod.com. Use all of our links, support the show, get that Surfshark VPN so you don't have to bounce back and forth between ESPN, ESPN Unlimited, ESPN Uno, whatever the case, wherever the hell it's on ESPN in that regards. Mars, you want to plug anything before we get out of here?
Yes, once again, before that, thanks, guys, again. This has become a tradition. Love being here. Of course, always a big fan of the show, so please, guys, support them. Get yourself a Dumb Marks t-shirt or something like that. That would be awesome. And April 20th, I release my new single, Raw Cones, available on all streaming platforms. April 20th is a very important day for me because I'm a stoner. So for other stoners, you will understand.
And that's why Mars won't be on tomorrow.
Exactly. In fact, as soon as the first match goes, I'm going to see what my brand new lighter does. So, so April 20th, please, if you like good music, check it out. It's pretty dope.
All right, there you go, Marks. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Shout out Pat McAfee. Your time in the wrestling business was well entertained. Hashtag put the strap on Pat was a key cog in this show's history, much to Chris's chagrin. But with that being said, I'm a Mark, you're a Mark, Telemark, and until next time, y'all can catch us tomorrow.